Hello everybody, welcome back for some StarCraft 2 action. We're back with Spirit going up against SKillous. Homestory Cup 24 Group C. And from what we've seen so far, Showtime faltered a little bit, but he's still in the race together with Spirit and SKillous to get top 2 and go out of the group into the playoffs. We have a PvT here on Site Delta. And so far, everything is looking standard. Now, we already saw a game of SKillous going up against Baby Marine. And I think Baby Marine won. Somehow I'm blanking on this, but... No, SKillous won, right? I think SKillous won. He ended up winning. SKillous sending out a probe here. So with that said, I think SKillous is in a good position. If he wins versus Spirit here, he's basically out of the group. So we see the double gas, Cybercore's coming out, but this probe is up to some shenaniganery. We also see no second pylon in the main base. So there's going to be a proxy, I presume. We see a Reaper, single gas, going to be a CC for Spirit here. And we do see the proxy pylon. And a bunch of gas already banked up. Let's see what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a Stargate, but could also be a Robo. Do you see Gateway Research actually before using any kind of proxy? We also have a Zealot, so SKillous being very aggressive here. Could also just be a proxy Gateway, I guess, but there it comes. It's a Stargate. So there's going to be an Oracle into the natural of Spirit here very quickly. Do see a factory from Spirit a little bit further back, so an Adept Scout can't find it. We do see a bunker going up for Spirit already, but the Zealot is here to put on a little pressure and tries to get in range of that Marine. If the Terran player doesn't pay enough attention, suddenly that Zealot is already on top of your Marine, and then you're really sad, because if that Marine dies, like, this Zealot pressure is suddenly so much harder to deal with. Reaper did return back to base, and we see the Stalker is out here now as well. Kills the SCV on the bunker. So Zealot did his job there, just tanking a bunch. Getting damage done. Perhaps panicking Spirit a little bit. We do see a Voidray coming out with a proxy gateway, so SKillous just going full one base here. We see 3 gateways, 2 underway. On top of the first one that is already in play for SKillous here. And does Spirit realize the amount of pressure that he's going to be on? Well, he doesn't see anything outside of his own base. He hasn't really scouted because that Reaper had to return back to base because of that Zealot. Now, first, a Voidray is about to finish. Second Voidray underway. There is 3 Marines in this bunker, though, but he might use it to snipe this reactor. I don't know if a Stalker Kid can get in here. But he could probably hit that reactor as well. Voidray is just chilling, though. He's not revealing the Voidray. We see double mine already ready, so Spirit is kind of trying to do a Widow Mine drop here. And if they don't hit Voidrays, I think SKillous is just gonna kill Spirit here. Because almost 2 Voidrays already, and what does Spirit have to deal with that? 4, 5, 6 Marines now, that's decent. Especially when they're in the bunker. But as soon as they're outside of the bunker, I think it's not gonna be great. Now the medevac is leaving, and at that exact moment, we see SKillous moving up the ramp. 2 charged up Voidrays and 7 Stalkers just bust down the bunker right away. And Spirit's medevac is going across the map after all. But I think Spirit is just completely dead. What a sucker punch here by SKillous. Holy moly, just rolls on in with this force. I think a 3rd Voidray might have been underway. I'm not sure. He scans, sees no natural in the end. And I don't know where that medevac went. We don't see it right now. Where the hell did it go? Oh, it is here, but we don't see it anymore. And with a Sucker Punch type of build, SKillous won bases Spirit in that first game on Site Delta. That was pretty cheeky, like punishing Spirit for not scouting beyond the Reaper, and he just played Spirit like a fiddle, sending out the Zealot, taking away all of the attention from his base and if there's a natural or not. And then, you know, the Stalker follows up, making sure that the bunker gets delayed, and Spirit really has to defend, crank out those Marines. And then in the back, he's doing that Widowmine drop that, like, I can't feel anything other than think that SKillous just kind of expected Spirit to do a build like that, and he just wanted to abuse it to all hell. And he did. Oh, look at that. He scouted this mineral, seeing if it's mined out for the Reaper barracks. That's why I prefer it when the Terrans mine out their own mineral. It's very hard to scout for the Protoss. Now, Spirit, is he going to change it up, or is he going to do the same build, but now with a SCV scout, perhaps? Do you see Reaper coming out and an SCV scout, or is he just going to scout a couple proxy locations and then go back for a CC? No, he's not. He's sending out a second SCV for a CC. So this is actually scouting SCV. Small adaptation leading out of the first game, which is why I like to show these best of threes instead of just the first game, which was pretty epic. But now the second game, we see this, even this small adaptation and sometimes bigger adaptations out of these players coming out. Because a lot of people can win a best of 1, but winning a best of 3 or a best of 5 or, you know, 7 is just way difficult. It's a different game altogether. Now we see pretty much the same build from Spirit coming out so far. Another bunker, expecting to see Reactor after maybe one more Marine. And this time Spirit has scouted and he has seen almost everything, but not the Stargate. Did he see the second? He did see the second pylon. Okay, so that's important. So Spirit's not expecting there to be a proxy from SKillous. If he doesn't find the second pylon, obviously he wants to scout around a bunch. Still using this Reaper to scout around quite a bit. Like, you can see the path that it took, so he's up to SKillous, you know? He's like, I'm not gonna lose to another piece of shenaniganry that you can pull out, you Protoss player type of dude. Do have an Adept now, saving the probes. As soon as a probe leaves his shields, he just sends it to the main, where it's safe. We see a Phoenix coming out, actually, from SKillous. So are we gonna see Phoenix Colossus on this map? No player electing to go for the gold or the rich geysers just yet. Oh, one probe about to go down here to this Reaper. Not quite a Clem Reaper, but still. And putting down the pylon. I don't know if this closes this Reaper path, but at least it will let SKillous know if the Reaper is about to jump up, so he can react a little bit earlier. Adept did get a kill, but also lost most of his health here. And is now... Oh! Actually gets found out by Spirit. Damn, dude. The Spidey senses. How do you know that an Adept is chilling over here? I guess the Reaper on the Zilnaga saw the Adept shade, and so Spirit could kind of triangulate the position of that Adept. So that kind of feels bad for SKillous losing that Adept. 2 Phoenix here, and they do reveal themselves right now. Do kill the Reaper. More Phoenix underway, and we do see the Robo at the natural, so this could very well be the Phoenix Colossus type strategy coming out from SKillous. Which is a pretty cool strategy to play. Let's see what happens. We've got 2 Phoenix here, third one underway. Trying to get a couple free shots, and the Medivacs would be nice. Free SCV would be nice. Basically anything you can kill here would be nice. And this mine perfectly placed to hit a Phoenix dead in the face. I don't know if it one-shots a Phoenix. I feel like it doesn't. Because Phoenixes have a lot of health. Like, deceptively high amount of health for their cost. Free SCV just chilling here, but even though SKillous sees it, he's not going for it. Maybe he expects there to be a mine underneath that SCV. That would be kind of funny. Because you do take a bunch of hull damage on your Phoenix, and you can't repair them, you're not Terran. Mine here, oh my god, the mine does get revealed, and it does indeed not one-shot a Phoenix. But it's pretty close. Only 20 health left on that Phoenix. So that means... How much damage does it do? Oh, there's no full shield. Oh, there it is. 180. So it does 160 damage to a Phoenix. And that's pretty scary. The Phoenix count is increasing. We see the robotic support bay coming out as well for those Colossus. And, ooh, SKillous does see this tank now. Another Widow Mine gets another shot on these Phoenix, and now you can see the 2 Phoenix in the deep red. Spirit has this funny toolbox army with like 1 Cyclone, 1 Viking, 1 Medevac, 1 Marauder. Okay, now it's 2 Marauders. Sag. Would have been funny to see the one of everything build make a return in 2024. Though the pylon being set out here by SKillous, having good map vision, making sure that no Widow Mine drop gets into his bases without him being alerted to it. Third base is up. We see the first Colossus coming out now. And I wonder if there's going to be a second Robo here, or if he's just going to stick on 1 Robo. We have 5 Phoenix. No extra Phoenix is being added on either. Never mind, 6th Phoenix. Because he could just be transitioning out of this, right? Just be like, I'm just going to build a couple Colossi, a couple Phoenix, make you over-invest into Vikings, and then just destroy you with Gateway units and a couple Disruptors. Okay, we see a mine and 6 Marines being loaded up. The army of SKillous moves out, but the drop gets into the natural here. This Widowmaneer might get a decent shot, probably not. The 4 probes dead already. And these Marines doing good damage here. No armory on deck, so this Widow Mine just does get taken down. It reveals itself after being, or after shooting its load. Ooh, only 1 Stalker being morphed in here. Oh my god, so many probes are dying. 15 probes have died. And more to come. Oh my god, there's 1 Viking. 3 kills on the Viking as well. Marines in the natural killing the Xertosis Pylon. Brother, I think Spirit just punched him back in the face like SKillous. Losing all of his probes. Nuclear batteries being committed to save a couple of them. But 30 probes have just died. SKillous back in the Stone Ages. Not rebuilding that tasteless pylon. Just losing more units, more probes. The supply is surprisingly even, I must say. So that tells me that Spirit was very committed to this attack. Oh my god. What's this tank doing here, dude? What the hell? What is this game? I thought SKillous was going to topple over there. He was just going to die. That was 30 probes. Like, 31 probes died. 31! That tells you how hard SKillous was probing behind that and how committed Spirit was, especially. So he did 30 probe damage, and he's now, I would say, slightly ahead. Because he has more workers, but he doesn't have a 3rd orbital yet. So the mules do make a difference, and SKillous needs to rebuild a bunch of probes here. Let's see if he continues on the route of the Colossus. Oh, actually 3 ghosts coming out from Spirit here. Is he going for a pull the boys type of situation? We actually see a bunker here. Spirit thinks he's very ahead. And I think SKillous doesn't have to commit into this. SKillous agrees, he just takes a 4th base. We see this tank, we see nice Sim City here. Turret is good versus Phoenix and the Colossus, and this Sim City is very good versus the charge slots that are coming out from SKillous. Which, because Colossus and Phoenix are so expensive in gas, you're mostly filling that up with charge slots, and we also see SKillous not even taking extra gases, so he really wants to go full Gateway Man there. Needs these extra minerals to get this 4th base, get more gateways. How many gateways does he have? So we have... Wait, 4 more in production? And then we have 5 of them on the field, so that's 9 gateways. That's a lot of zealots that he can warp in, and now we see disruptors coming out, double upgrades coming out, blink even coming out. War Prism is ready to run in a couple zealots on the side here. 4th CC coming out from Spirit. Is this going to be one of those Spirit late games versus Protoss? That would be wild. I kind of expected this game to end after those 30 probes. Warp Prism speed coming out. Wow. SKillous is like, this game is going to take a little longer. And I want to utilize these Warp Prisms to their max potential. Observer scouting a potential 4th base. Sees that there's no 4th base down yet. The Disruptor gets gone on. Immediately gets sniped EMPs on the army of SKillous. We do see Nuclear Battery. Does get taken down. And the Bio Army runs away from these Colossus. Not enough Vikings here for Spirit to do... or to deal with the army of SKillous, but there's no Nuclear Battery. And there's only 3 Colossus. So if he gets enough Colossus to deal with that, he should be able to do some damage to SKillous' bases, but he can actually defend this 4th base pretty well. It's hard to get there for Spirit. Like, do you push yourself through this choke here? 4th base now flying out for Spirit. Like, SKillous had that 4th base up and running, even though he lost 30 probes. I know I keep bringing that up, but, like, losing 30 workers is like 2 bases of full saturation, mineral-wise. So, like, what gives, you know? How do you survive that? We see a PF coming out, Planetary Fortress, and Fusion Core. Dude, we ready for the nukes, are we? I want to see some of those nukes. We see Dark Templar Shrine coming out, so probably going to see DTs with DT Blink. Again, this defensive situation or a setup coming into play. Look at that Sim City completely annihilating the Zealots because they just can't really get on top of the bio. Oh my god. Oh, look at the supply. The Protoss army just got overwhelmed, completely destroyed. Disruptors come in a little bit too late. And the entire army of SKillous is just dead. Like, he has 1 Colossus yet. That's the only power unit he has left. What the hell? Look at his money. Like, he just can't spend it. He's just unable to spend it. Chrono boosting all of his gateways and still... My god, that move was not it. And now we do see enough Vikings to clean up the last Colossus. This 1 Disruptor also falls. We have seen 0 Disruptor hits. More EMPs coming out onto the Stalkers. 0 shields on these Protoss units. Now we see 1 Disruptor hit finally hitting a couple units. Only 2 kills though. And like that, Spirit, holy moly. That was weird to me. That was really weird. Like, I thought that SKillous was dead, and then he wasn't dead, and then he was attacking, and his economy looked good, and his army supply looked good, and then he just got fucking whomped by Spirit. Like, here, in the middle of the map, he just, like, he ran in with all of his Zealots, which was all of his front line, and then all of the DPS from Spirit's army came in from the top, just got on top of all the juicy, well, weaker units from SKillous, like the lower health ones, and he just cleaned them up. That was very anticlimactic. And we have another case of players changing color mid-series. I don't know why they do this, but it happened. Spirit is now red and SKillous is now blue. Even though the first 2 games they played the other color. That's fine though. It's fine. Super early Probe Scout coming out from SKillous here. And going to be annoying this SEV that's trying to build a barracks. Gateways being built at home for SKillous. Not going for a Nexus first, but a super early scout. Let's see what Spirit does here. Pulled out an SEV, perhaps to try and catch the probe, or just to make sure that the probe can't steal the gas, I'm not sure. But aside from this worker harass, Spirit just doing a standard early game build. And SKillous looks to be doing the same thing. Has a pretty high amount of minerals here. Is he going to build a Nexus before Cybercore? I don't think so. No, he's going to build a Cybercore. Okay. Nothing cheeky going on here. And the probe is a little bruised. Has 9 health remaining. But I think he's going to get out. No problem. Although... Oh, this is actually not a Reaper. It's a Marine. Okay. It's like, if this is a Reaper, then the probe is going to die if it stays. because the Reaper will catch up. But now that he sees that it's a Marine, he might get out. Oh, nice stutter step by Spirit, actually shoots down that probe. But SKillous also knows that, okay, there's no Reaper, so I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a Stalker here. Oh, actually Stills goes for the Adept. I kind of feel like Adept is just slightly better versus Reaper, but he just wants the Adept anyways for scouting. But he can send it across the map right away and maybe delay his second gateway unit instead. Do have a factory coming out from Spirit with another reactor. He makes that bunker early and he makes a lot of Marines early. So this does look like the first two games, same build for Spirit. Let's see what SKillous does this time, because the Phoenix Colossus ended up not really panning out. Because that is supposed to be that build that just, you catch every drop coming into your main base, like before it even unloads. The Phoenix just gun it down, kill it, super cost efficient, and then if the Terran takes one bad fight, you chase him down with your Phoenix, the Medivacs can't get out anymore, and you just... Like, it's such a polarizing style to play. But Spirit's showing us that if you don't have enough of either just yet, you can't defend in every position, and before you know it, you lose 30 goddamn probes. Now, bunker coming out a little later than the previous game, I think. Oh, these Marines, they hungry. They want to get an Adept kill. We do see a Hellion here that doesn't show itself to the Adept. Very cute. Now we do see Widow Mines coming out and a Starport, so it's going to be a Widow Mine drop. Nobody is surprised in the slightest, and this Hellion is just kind of like a cheap Reaper. I feel like that's how most Terran players have been using it. It's like a 100 mineral Reaper. Builds a little faster, doesn't cost any gas. And look at that, it scouts the third base, actually prevents a Nexus from going down, but SKillous didn't have the minerals anyways. More gateways being added on. Instead of that Nexus, we see a Robo as well. And SKillous does send out a probe again for a third base, but as you can see, it did get delayed. Because SKillous could have built this Nexus before starting these gateways, but instead, he now starts the gateways and the Robo before getting that Nexus. And we see 2 Widow Mines and a Marine in a Medivac. That's a cute combination. I wonder where this Marine is going. Is it going to be on the Silnaga, or is it just going to be in the mineral line to be annoying? So that if you split, like, use 0 units to defend the Widow Mines, then the one Marine is just going to eat up all the probes. Oh, never mind, it gets dropped to scout potential third bases. Really cute. Doesn't want to waste a scan, but one Marine is just hunky-dory. And we see 2 Widow Mines being dropped into the natural. And we see 1 kill. Ooh, gets picked up. And we do see all the blink. Nice. SKillous doesn't take any damage from that second Widow Mine. Second bunker being added on by Spirit here. He doesn't like getting an early CC bunker in the main base as well. He's like, these blink stalkers, dude. Did he see a third base? No, he did not. That's why he's being so defensive. Look at that. Tank in a decent position. I think this tank can hit... Yeah, look at the circle. It can hit a lot of the surface area of this main and natural. And we even see an SCV ready to spot these stalkers we have. How many stalkers? We have 11 stalkers right now. Blinks onto the bunker. No Marines inside. Now, second one does get filled up. Gets repaired by the SCVs, but the stalkers are in the natural, and the tank has to unsiege and re-siege near the CC to actually get surface area or get enough range to shoo away those stalkers. The gases do get cleaned up. A supply depot got cleaned up. A bunker got cleaned up. And SKillous is getting some decent damage done here. Now, we did see another Widow Mine drop from that drop earlier. The Widow Mine reloaded itself. Oh my god, only blinks in half the stalkers. Kind of a misblink, maybe? But SKillous did need to pounce on that siege tank right away. Bunker going to be burning down here. And these 4 stalkers, which were left behind, are now being annoying in the natural. Look at these 2 supply depots, both being stopped from building. And Spirit actually a little bit supply block. Not really, but he would like to have more supply as soon as this round of units finishes. Oh, never mind. Look at the supply. He's making way too many supply depots. He supply dropped. That's cheating. That's cheating. Supply drop cheating. Now we see SKillous on 3 base, but worker count is decently low. Oh my god, the blonk! We missed that one, but he does kill a tank? And now does get out, but he did lose quite a bit of stalkers for that. 9 stalkers have died. How many probes have died? Only 8 probes. So SKillous fairly committed to this attack. Hasn't been building a lot of probes, and now does continue building probes. And as you can see, the stalker count is not being... How do I say that? Increased, I guess? Like, there's no extra stalkers being added on to this force, so as soon as Spirit realizes this, he knows that, okay, this attack is kind of over. He's still got a poke and prod, but as soon as I kill a stalker, it's not coming back. It's not like the Hydra. Not a Hydra-type attack. You know, cut off 1 stalker, get 2 more for free. Well, we do see the Zealots being warped in here. Is he going to drop them in the natural? I presume that he's going to do... Oh! Goes into turret range. SKillous could have... Or Spirit could have seen that. And as soon as SKillous sees him moving out, I think he's going for that Zealot drop into the natural. Maybe warp in some in the main. And a 4th base for SKillous is underway. Dude, Protoss is looking like Zerg here. Once again, we see the Dark Shrine, which is very annoying for these Terrans that only have 2 CCs. I love these moves out of Protoss, where they're like, oh, the CC is really late by Terran? No 3rd orbital? I'm just gonna make a Dark Shrine, and then you can send out, like, 1 DT onto the army, and they have to scan. And a scan, I think, is approximately 300 minerals in potential income loss, because I think that's how much a mule mines. I think a mule mines, like, 270 minerals. So if you force out a scan, you basically trade a DT for almost 300 minerals, which is pretty significant early on in the game, because that could be invested in more SCVs, or a bigger army. Like, getting money early is of course better. Like, think about it this way. If I can start you off a game with 1,000 extra minerals, do you think that's better than getting 2,000 minerals at the 5-minute mark? I'll tell you, it's way fucking better, because you can instantaneously build a CC, still do your same build, and then you have 2 orbitals at like 3 minutes. And then those extra 1,000 minerals you'll earn by just having more SCVs and more mules. Ooh, a nice 2-prong play here by SKillous, using 2 of these armies, full gateway man again. How many gases does he have? He has 3 gases. And 2 forges does find this Widowmine drop, and he warps in a bunch of stalkers to deal with it. He sees it. Does he get enough shots off? He does, and he also kills the Widowmine before the Widowmines can do anything. Spirit's army is looking pretty goddamn fearsome, though. Does it +1, but he's not moving out with it. He's playing it real slow, I feel like. Getting a Ghost Academy again? My god. Spirit is just not afraid of chilling. He's like, if I max out versus this no AoE army from Protoss, I am good. And if you look at SKillous's tech right now, like, he can build Colossus. He doesn't have a Templar Archives, but there's literally no Colossus out on the map. He's adding on a 2nd Robo, though, so probably going to be adding on either Colossus or Disruptors. And there we go, 300 minerals, boom. Oh, it's actually going to be Colossus. And Thermal Lance is coming. We do see 2 Vikings at a time being produced by Spirit, but you ideally want to have a 2nd starport versus these Colossus. Because if SKillous somehow snipes some medevacs, suddenly you have to choose between building Vikings and building medevacs, and that does not feel good if you're the Terran player. Big settled warp in, being warped in at a potential 4th base location from Spirit here. And Spirit, little supply block, but won't be for long. He has a big ball of bio, couple Widow Mines, and 4 Ghost here. And with the Ghost, he thinks that is what enables him to move out across the map. He's like, if I have Ghost, I can EMP blanket your whole army, and they'll just lose too much shields. They'll lose too much health, which means that the effective health of your armies is not great enough. Oh, look at that. Immediate EMP onto the Zealots. being baited out by SKillous, and now, oh my god, the full surround by the Zealots. Blunk in from the Stalkers, and we have this one Colossus, doesn't even have the thermal lance yet, but does manage to push back Spirit into his corner of the map. And Spirit, I think he does have a 4th CC, but it hasn't landed yet, and SKillous here on 5 bases and 5 gases now, as he's adding on, I think I saw a 3rd Robo, but I think he cancelled it. We only have 1 Colossus. Gateway Man strikes again. And SKillous can just warp in so many units. He has 14 gateways. 14. Gateway Man operational, and now he's maxed. And how many Vikings do we have? Not enough. They get immediately targeted down by the Blink Stalkers, and now this one Colossus is... like, Spirit just can't deal with it. He just can't effing deal with it. And all of these units from the Protoss have a +2 attack, +1 armor, 10 more Zealots being warped in. Look at the supply from Spirit. He's just being crushed under the weight of the Protoss economy. Whilst Spirit is reaching a depression. The inflation is too hard to deal with for Spirit here. We do see this one cheeky siege tank. And if Spirit keeps this defensive position, then maybe SKillous overcommits into him. But these Stalkers are just... oh, that bunker actually paying off a lot of dividend. A lot of finance jokes here. 4th base did get cancelled, though. Spirit is kind of playing from the grave right now. He looks pretty dead, but he has a standing army, so you have to try. If you get a good fight, you can counterattack, maybe kill 1 or 2 bases, establish your own 4th base. We see +3 attack about to finish, +2 defense, or armor was finished as well for Protoss, and that's when he moves out. SKillous attacks with a big armor or upgrade lead timing, and a 2nd Colossus has joined the fight. Thermal Lance is done as well. And what can the Terran army do? A lot of medevacs here, though. We have like 9 medevacs just healing up all of this bio, but Spirit using all of these Vikings in the same control group as his army. And because of that, they can't effectively deal with the Colossus. But SKillous also doing such a good job of targeting down those Vikings. But if I look at the army supply now, Spirit is still in this. He can kill the army of SKillous, and that is maybe enough to make some type of a comeback in this game. He can float over his main CC as well. All of these medevacs out of energy, though. But his army supply, it's up. And these Colossus looking mighty weak. Super low on HP. But he needs to retreat. Oh my god, catches an Immortal there. Another Immortal underway. I love these late game Immortals from Protosses. Instead of making more Gateway units, just make a couple of Mortals. Mortals are just so good. They're like they're good for their supply. And that's very important as soon as you're maxed and going into a late game situation. Now we do see the 6th base of SKillous being killed by Spirit here, but there's also DTs and Zealots being warped into the main of Spirit. So Spirit is now on the clock, and SKillous is giving him the... yes. He's destroying him right now. Spirit going for a last-ditch effort to hopefully get something done, but his whole base is in shambles, and SKillous is just up 40 supply. I think 1 Warpin of DT and Zealot will be enough. Vikings have landed on the ground, but Spirit giving it a valiant last attempt. But if we look at the main base of Spirit, SKillous takes down Spirit 2-1 and pretty much guarantees himself of getting out of the group. I'll tell you who got out of the group in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.